This is a podcast by the News Minute, and you are listening to South Central.
Hello and welcome to South Central, a TNM podcast where we put the South at the center. I am Dhanya, Rajendran, your host. A very happy new year. Hope you had a good 2025. I was reading in the New York Times that it was a year where we saw an avalanche of news. I don't know if in India we could say the same. It has been a lot of news in 2025. In fact, I was quite exhausted by the end of it. I felt like my batteries were switching off in December. So 2026, we are coming back with full force and hoping that you stay with us. Joining me in the studio is Pooja Prasanna, the reporting head of the News Minute. Pooja,
hello.
What is your New Year resolution?
Well, I don't have a resolution because I'm not 12. But,
What?
and also, really, who's ever kept up to resolutions?
Me.
In the history of mankind?
Me.
No. But I have themes. So my theme is intentionality. Whatever I'm doing, I'll do it for a purpose and also upgrade. Upgrade skills, upgrade how I think, upgrade life, little bit material comfort.
Did you just
maybe.
think this in the last 2
No,
minutes?
actually, I have written this down. So, yeah.
Okay, and joining us is Maitreyi Krishnan, also in the studio. She's a lawyer and the president of the All India Lawyers Association for Justice.
Hi, Happy New Year to both of you.
And should I ask you what is
No.
your New Year resolution?
You should certainly not.
But we can give you a resolution. Just keep fighting the good fight like you do.
And joining us from Hyderabad is Mr. Shaikh Salahuddin. He is the founder and president of the Telangana Gig and Platform Workers Union and the co-founder and national general secretary of the Indian Federation of App-Based Transport Workers. These are the two organizations which called for that strike on December 25th and December 31st of gig workers cutting across platforms. So Shaikh Salahuddin is the man, also one of the main people who are behind organizing the strike. Thank you very much. You've been organizing taxi drivers and gig workers working across platforms for many years. Thank you for joining us here on South Central for discussing the strike.
Thank you so much. And wish you a happy new year.
Yes, thank you very much. I know the new year did not start on a very good tone for the gig worker community. Well, we'll come to that. We'll just quickly go through the headlines first. And to all those listening and watching, you better have two good New Year resolutions. One is, of course, go follow South Central on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, which I keep telling all of you. And the second New Year resolution is, this is a very important year for India. We've got a lot of state elections coming up. Work is cut out for us clearly. So you should take a resolution this year to support at least two news organizations that you believe in, that you maybe don't daily check, but at least you want their work to go on. And most smaller news organizations are now asking for subscriptions and membership. So make that resolution on January 1st and go ahead. Pooja, headlines.
We'll start with Tamil Nadu. Teens attack migrant workers with machetes, pose next to him with victory sign. A terrible headline to start with. But 22-year-old migrant worker killed in Coimbatore and 2 people have been arrested. These are 2 different incidents. 2 men have been arrested in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu on Monday, that is the 29th of December, for murdering a migrant worker. Coimbatore Bazaar police have arrested A. Bajit Khan, who's 30 years old, and an auto driver by the name R. Prakash, who's 38 years old. Both of them are residents of Coimbatore. Meanwhile, the deceased, that's R. Suraj, who's 22 years old, a migrant worker from West Bengal, was living in a housing unit and worked at an eatery. Another headline from Tamil Nadu. The Congress chief criticizes the debt remark and asserts the DMK Congress alliance. This is something we're looking at, not the politics part of it, just the economics part of it in more detail in this week's Let Me Explain. So make sure you catch that. And speaking to the reporters, he said that we'll not allow anyone within the Congress to echo the voice of the RSS or the BJP. I want to clarify that Chakravarti, that's Praveen Chakravarti's statements, do not represent the voice of the Congress party.
So the controversy is because Praveen Chakravarti, who's part of the Congress, said that the debt which Tamil Nadu has is alarming, and he compared it to Uttar Pradesh. We've been seeing an avalanche of reactions over the last 2 days, with a few people in the Congress supporting Praveen Chakravarti, at least indirectly, like Manikam Tagore, but most others really saying that no, let's not criticize the DMK. And it's taken a very political tone, with the BJP saying, look, all is not well in the alliance because the Congress and the DMK are fighting.
Yeah. Moving on to Kerala, arrest of Keralite priest in Nagpur sparks protest, political backlash in Kerala. The arrest of priest under the CSI church, his wife and 10 others in Nagpur, that is in Maharashtra, on charges of forced religious conversion has sparked widespread outrage in Kerala, igniting protest and political uproar. CSI Bishop, who is the secretary of the CSI Bishops' Council in Kottayam, on Wednesday, strongly condemned the action, calling it a blatant violation of constitutional freedoms. Another headline from Kerala, MLA Uma Thomas seeks 2 crores in damages from GCDA over Kochi Stadium fall. I'm sure you people remember that very, very alarming video where she was coming behind and she fell off the stage. Now she's asked for compensation for sustaining severe injuries from the fall, which happened in the Jawaharlal Nehru International Stadium in Kochi during a Guinness World Record attempt. Another headline from Kerala, Kochi Biennale temporarily closes exhibition after Christian groups protest over artwork. The work that we're talking about depicted a half-naked dancer occupying the spot of Jesus in Leonardo da Vinci's renowned painting. This was a version of that.
Yeah, but there's some history to it. It's based on a book or it's based on a book, a poem or something like that. We have written a story in 2016 because this has been in controversy before. So people have followed that artwork, say that there's no problem with this artwork, but then everybody is just waiting to get offended all the time. So
moving on to Karnataka, the Michael D. Kuna Commission submits report on COVID-19 procurement irregularities to the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. This has come very, very late. But the commission had probed alleged irregularities in the procurement of medicines and equipment in Bangalore urban and Belagavi districts, among several other things. But this was the primary thing that the commission looked at. Another headline from Karnataka, political one, Siddaramaiah meets Kerala Chief Minister at Sivagiri Mutt and holds cordial talks. We saw those pictures of both of them shaking hands, smiling and all of that. After the recent verbal duel between Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan over the demolition of illegally constructed houses in Koglu layout in Bengaluru, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah on Wednesday met Pinarayi Vijayan at Sivagiri Mutt near Thiruvananthapuram and held cordial talks.
So I was reading an article, I think in the Deccan Herald, I can't remember, saying that the Congress is going to use Siddaramaiah to campaign in Kerala and get the Ahinda votes there.
Actually,
and
that's a good idea.
This is the beginning of that. But Maitreyi, since you're, I want to just quickly ask about the Koglu layout issue, right? There's a lot of noise on social media saying that these are illegal housing. So at some point of time, they had to be demolished. But what I mean, even if you can say, okay, fine, the government can do something about it at some point of time, the way it was done, that has not been questioned a lot.
See, I think firstly, to call it illegally constructed houses, I think it takes away from the fact of the matter. These are people who have been denied their constitutional right. Now, right to housing is your fundamental right. And these are people who have been denied that. And there is a positive obligation on the state to ensure that everybody has a dignified house. Now, the failure of the state to actually provide that has forced people to live in these kind of vulnerable situations. So I think to call it illegal, to give it that kind of terminology is something very problematic. Secondly, like you said, the way in which it was done, I mean, it is horrendous that you go in the morning at 4 o'clock, you demolish these homes. And this is something that the courts have also said you should not do. You should not be demolishing homes in this way. And in fact, they say that, when you do this, a bundle of rights gets trampled upon. You have kids over there, you have women over there. So you have something like this going on. It's something that's very, very seriously wrong. A few years ago in Whitefield, there was a demolition that took place in the guise of the so-called Bangladeshis. And at that time, we had gone to court and the court had come down very heavily. And
Justice Oka, right?
Yes. And had directed payment of compensation to each of those families from the state. And if you look at it, this is the way in which this has been done so arbitrarily. And I think the other thing that also this calls to is the need for the state to really look at the right of housing and to ensure and to take a clear stand and say that we will ensure the right of housing to everybody. The question here is, why were these people forced to live in these such difficult conditions, and how many more are like this?
No, I think positive obligation is a term that we hardly use when it comes to what the state has to do, because the onus is always on the individual, right? Why didn't they have houses? Why did they go build there? How come they were living there on somebody else's land?
But just to juxtapose this, Dhanya, we've had multiple reports, including Balasubramaniam report on encroachments, and these are large-scale encroachments, including some big hospitals.
Builders.
Builders, of course.
One of them sent us a
are-
criminal defamation
we just
notice.
concluded recently.
Yeah.
But they are not even touched. I mean, they'll be sending notices and, contested in court. But yeah. Another very unsavory headline from Karnataka. From Darshan to Kicha Sudeep, Kannada stars turn to courts to silence pre-release criticism. 3 major Kannada films, Devil, Mark and 45. These are the names of Kannada films, by the way. Devil, Mark and 45. Have secured ex parte John Doe injunctions from Bengaluru courts ahead of their releases. The orders restrain a broad spectrum of online content, reviews, videos, reactions, trolling, and even challenging feedback. So what to do in the review? Say, great movie, bye-bye.
I don't understand these magistrates. I mean, I have said enough and more about Karnataka magistrates, but sure, yes. Next.
Moving to Andhra, Chief Minister Naidu heads to Davos. Andhra Pradesh takes its global investment pitch to the World Economic Forum 2026. The other Telugu state, Telangana, GHMC to be divided into 3 corporations. This has been reported by the New Indian Express. The stage is set for one of the biggest urban governance reorganizations in Telangana, with the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, that's GHMC, spread over 2,053 square kilometers to the outer ring road. Now, this is proposed to be split into 3 independent municipal corporations. But we were looking, and in fact, we've published a story about how one huge apartment complex is split into 2 different corporations. So they have no clarity on who they should go to if there is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And even the police station limits are a little all over the place. So great planning.
And this Hyderabad and Cyberabad, I don't think I've ever written Cyberabad correctly. I've always written Cyberabad.
Yeah. But now you'll have to learn, because one of the municipal corporations will be called Cyberabad. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Cyberabad Municipal
Municipal
Corporation. The other one will be Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. Third one, Malkajgiri Municipal Corporation, which also happens to be around the constituency of the Chief Minister, right? Revant Reddy.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay, so we'll go to our first discussion of the day, which is on the strike by gig workers. 2 days, which is December 25th and December 31st, 2 days when most Indians tend to order a lot of food and other items. That's the day that gig workers chose to actually voice their protest. So there are many demands that they put forward, but one of the main demand is a ban on unsafe 10-minute delivery models and to end arbitrary ID blocking and penalties. We'll go to Shaikh Salahuddin himself. Tell us, how did the strike itself go, the 2-day strike, right? Because I saw a press statement saying that around 3 lakh gig workers had stayed off platforms. How did the strike go? And why was the decision taken to strike on these 2 particular days? Did you believe that will enable to send the message to a larger number of Indians who are perhaps unaware of what's happening?
Yes. First of all, thank you so much giving this opportunity. See, we are finding 25th and 31st December because those days order pressure will be more from aggregator side and platform company side. At the same time, worker side onwards. That's why we have to choose 25th December and 31st December, the year ending onwards. And our target is very clear to pressurize the aggregator companies to whatever our demand should be fulfilled. Okay. 25th strike is the Christmas day. That is the only from trailer. That day also flash strike we have to announce. That day we have to 40,000 workers join that movement, and at the same time 60%, 50 to 60% orders should be delayed. And we have wait 5 days. Company should come together, sit, discuss with us. Otherwise, government to come interfering in this matter, state government or central government. No one can take the responsibility, state and central. At the same time, no one can, company should be come to sit together and discuss what the real problems facing from the workers. We have to ready collective bargaining, table discussions, but no one aggregator company should be come on the talk with the unions and workers. This is bad thing. Okay. After 6th day, 31st, again we have to start the strike, whatever the already we have to announce it on ground. We have afternoon, we have start flash tag because afternoon is the food product. Everyone should be like Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Delhi, everywhere in the food, multi orders should be in afternoon, specifically from foods. That's why we are trying to first finding from the food targeting that is successful. That is success from above 70%. Okay. Just I am finding the total data analysis from each state, how to this strike should be success. Imagine food will have, when we success, these all aggregator companies immediately after around 4 thing. I think I don't know you are receiving or not agri platform companies press note. Okay. Immediately 4 o'clock receiving all the news, electronic and print media should be receiving the press release from the platform companies. Okay. And immediately payout should be increase 10-20 rupees giving per order. Now immediately given the order per 125 rupees to 150 rupees per each order. Imagine. And I don't blame to all the media, but some medias has, the flash news should be immediately. Yeah, demand should be successful. Aggregators companies has be giving the incentive. That is only from 1 day incentive. That is not every ride. Okay. That is from each day, that ride onwards only the scheme should be a platform company has sent. And, the WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, or whatever the new distillation, whatever the how to we are organized, everywhere should be breaking news will be. Salahuddin bhai, breaking news aa gaya, abhi hamara payout badh gaya. All the workers should join immediately once again in Zoom meeting, Google. We have to discuss what is the fact of finding. The 3 types of very major we have to already plan. Na? That is how to break this company you can imagine. And immediately, grocery items should be passed 4 to 7 maybe around. After 8 to our target midnight, that is completely food and bakery items, junk items, very well. New Year, everyone should be. That 3 types we whatever the target that we have to 100% success. In like Bawarchi Hotel, Paradise, like Hyderabad and Cape Bahar, you can see lot of biryanis and everyone should be come and take personal to carry the hotel. Okay. And delivery boys queue, imagine last year and both 2-3 years back, 3-4 kilometers line from the delivery boys in the queue. Now this year you can't see that much of line. This is the impact. Again, those all the aggregator platform companies, showing from the workers, bhai pure platform pe join ho gaye, acha offer de rahe, aa jao, voice recorded, team leaders and the area managers, nahi to aapki ID block ho jayegi. This another side, those who are not interested, flash tag who are joining, those bouncers who was, he has hiring 1 day bouncers. Okay, the 1 day bouncer should go by एक कार में ले लेके 10 जने 15 जने चले गए वो भीड़ में, जस्ट द मजिल पावर करता नहीं आता, तेरी आईडी ब्लॉक होती है, अब गले पे खाता, चल काम कर. This type of threatings from the workers. And again, imagine the police also should support those companies. And you imagine 11:30 morning, 11:30, 2 o'clock, we have 2 notices received. One is Swiggy and Zomato. Those you can clearly mention, आप डायल 100 को फोन करो या 102 को फोन करो, पुलिस हमारे साथ है. This type of muscle power, money power, and not only muscle and money power, threatening. And imagine, like, I don't know real Amitabh Bachchan or fake Amitabh Bachchan. We have some comments on our group onwards. Whatever, real or fake, I don't know. But Amitabh Bachchan type ad should be in play in the officially Swiggy, Insta and Twitter, Facebook. Okay. आइए आज रात के दिन गाड़ी चलाइए, 31st नाइट के दिन आप अपने माँ को कार ईवी गाड़ी के अंदर जाती कर सकते, आइए यहाँ पे ऑफर चल रहा है. This type of ad should be play. And one side, Tamanna, heroine Tamanna, I think he is giving, the Zomato, 2 2 days come this platform, you can earn 6,000 rupees. Each day 3,000 rupees from giving from the Zomato. It's true. What I said, both companies and via to actors also, and Tamanna and Amitabh Bachchan, you give the assurance, you take the assurance, we are ready to withdraw this strike. No one can respond. I don't know what is the Amitabh Bachchan real or fake, that is secondary. Tamanna, I think Tamanna also real, because that picture, the everything should be official poster. You can't take without permission pic. I am right. But how you can create, this is possible or impossible without any fact findings, heroines giving this type of ads. You imagine how mental and physical stress from the workers?
Mr. Salahuddin, I just want to stop you there. So basically you're saying that there was a lot of pressure from the platforms to see that the strike will not be successful, and they gave the sudden incentive, which was a one-day incentive. It created doubt amongst people, right? I want to just go back to your main first demand, which is a 10-minute delivery. This 10-minute delivery has been around for some time now. Tell us, what is the kind of damage it has done to the gig worker, health and all the other issues coming along with it, right? This 10-minute delivery. Why do you want a 10-minute delivery stopped?
Madam, sorry, I corrected. Strike should not fail. Strike should 100% success. Okay? Platform company should failure. Again, I told you, muscle power, money power, everything should on place. Okay? Again, 2.10 lakhs workers part on the strike, flash strike. Okay. Imagine 60% should place, maybe delay from the orders. Okay. The data aggregator companies has not shared with us. Okay. You can share it openly. And one more thing. Yes, we have simplified demands. Okay. What we are asking, whatever you are giving the old payout system, you can immediately those system onwards. Okay, whatever platform like Swiggy, Zomato, Zepto, Blinkit, each platform should be given different type of payouts. Okay, you can come one payout. We are ready to whatever the old payout you are giving, per order 50 rupees, 60 rupees, you can implement immediately. Okay, we are not asking any new demand and new payout onwards. And second thing, 10-minute delivery, lot of road accidents and death will be there. Okay. This you can take all the platforms immediately, remove the platforms immediately, the 10-minute delivery. And the third one, IDs block. IDs without any notice, without any, injustice, whatever, whenever any one person should giving the complaint or team leader on area manager, and immediately your temporary and permanent ID should be blocked. This is not good. And fourth, algorithm should control from the delivery boys. Example, I am 10 orders you can complete it, 500 rupees incentive. Example, I am reach 8 rides will be completed, just 2 rides only reminder. I have lot of time, 2 hours, 3 hours, but I cannot reach the 2 targets. Algorithm should be stopped with. Again, new boy who was joining immediately in my friend, immediately go and take the order, 2 orders, 3 orders in my friend. अरे मैं क्या गलती करा, 1 घंटा, आधा घंटा, 2 घंटे हो गए, अभी तक सिंगल ऑर्डर नहीं आया. This type of workers is waiting. That is the algorithm control. And fifth, we want to dignity. रोजी रोटी के साथ साथ इंसान की भी तो इज्जत है. Without any Zepto, you can go and any Zepto store. You can't sit, every worker should sit on the steps and bikes. Washrooms also not healthy to use. Not drinking water should be provided. Okay. Summer, winter, these all things will need place. That is not access to the delivery boy to take the rest onwards. This type of behaviors from the aggregator companies and platform companies from the workers, we are asking these needly to demands should be fulfilled. We are not asking any big demands to the aggregator and platform companies. You are not reached to me from the workers. This is all our workers who want this type of 5 demands. These are all general demands. This is not specifically demands onwards. This is the As a humanity, we are all are enjoying this cause. ये तो इंसानियत के लिए पूछा गया, इंसानियत का पार्ट है ये सारे कंपनीज को करना चाहिए एज ए ह्यूमैनिटी ग्राउंड में. नहीं हो रहा. That's why we are asking this. Why you are not look up these matters, take seriously. Yesterday, how much amount you are burning, no? Ads, muscle power, money power, everything that you can immediately divide 3 days, 4 days back from the workers. Why not? क्यों नहीं कर पाए आप? एक दिन, imagine, एक दिन एक ऑर्डर पे 125 रुपए से 150 रुपए कोई जिंदगी में कभी कोई प्लेटफॉर्म कंपनी ने दी. क्यों देना पड़ा? आपने हार माना. आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे कोई वर्कर नहीं था, उसके लिए आप वर्कर को थ्रेट करने के लिए, उसको जाल पे बुलाने के लिए, उसको प्लेटफॉर्म पे बुलाने के लिए, लगा के रखने के लिए आप दे दिए. इमेजिन 60,000 रुपए कमा सकते बोल के स्विगी, जोमैटो, जेप्टो ने अपने खुद के एप्स पे एड्स दिया. हम भी वही पूछ रहे ना मैम, वी आर आस्किंग 60,000 रुपीज आप लिख के दे दो पर महीना कमाते. उसके ऊपर कमाए तो अच्छी बात है, आप बोल दो कि 60 से कम नहीं कमा सकते. जो ऐप ऐड दिए वही बोल रहे हैं हम कोई सेपरेट पूछ रहे ही नहीं हम आपको. This is the we are asking from demands. This is the basic demands we are asking. Needly demands we are asking. As a humanity ground we are asking. No one can come interfere in this matter. Any aggregator company, platform companies. And आपने 4 बजे के टाइम प्रेस नोट दे दिया, थोड़े साथियों ने प्रेस में चला दिया, व्हाट्सएप पे चला दिया, फेसबुक पे चला दिया, ग्रुपों में चला दिया, वायरल कर दिया. आपने स्ट्राइक तोड़ने का काम किया, मगर आप फिर भी जो है हार गए. हम हक से जीते. द सोल ऑफ वर्कर्स नीड्स वी आर विनिंग, बट यू आर फेलियर्स बिकॉज यू आर मजिल पावर, मनी पावर, एवरीथिंग इन द प्लेस, एंड अगेन you can't success that much of yesterday your threatenings from the workers. We are ready, ma'am. We are ready to discuss collectively bargaining. We are ready to discuss it point to point. We are ready to discuss from the workers' side. And we are sit together from workers. You are not interested to talk with the unions. We are ready to sit behind of the workers. I will send you workers onwards only. You can sit together and discuss, na? Why not? No one can, a platform company should come forward. This is not the sense. This much of you are not a humanity. You wantedly to consumers को आप तकलीफ देने के लिए इस तरीके का प्ले आपने इस्तेमाल किया. और कंज्यूमर भी मैम, consumers has more supported with us yesterday. You can imagine more customers has you are doing very needy demands. Very good, go forward. We are all our support with platforms. आप कितने सोशल मीडिया पे देखिए, कितने कस्टमर्स ने सपोर्ट किया. 10 मिनट डिलीवरी किसी को नहीं चाहिए मैम. क्यों हो रहा है? किसी के जान से खतरा क्यों लेना है? किसी की जान चले जा रही, कौन टेक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ले रहा? उसका कोई नहीं है मैम. यंग लाइफ से ये सारे 25 साल के अंदर मेरे हैदराबाद तेलंगाना के अंदर 6 एक्सीडेंट का इंतकाल हुआ. वो 6 फैमिलीज के ऊपर क्या बीत रही है, एक बार उनके घर पे जाके पूछिए मैम. किसी की बच्ची 1 महीने की थी शादी होके, किसी के घर में बच्चे की शादी को लिए रेडी था. कोई बच्चा पढ़ते पढ़ते काम कर ले रहा था, कोई मजबूरन घर की जिम्मेदारी पे काम कर रहे थे. भाई इनकी शादी थी 1 महीने के अंदर. क्या मिला उनको? कितने रोड एक्सीडेंट्स में हाथ पैर को मार लग के हॉस्पिटलाइज होके सिक होके 6 to 8 months हॉस्पिटल से घर में बैठ के, उनके लिए क्या मिल रहा?
But all these companies that fight with each other competitively come together when it comes to exploiting the workers, because any one of them could have conceded, but they refuse to. And they're not luxurious.
For those who don't understand Hindi, what Mr. Salahuddin said in the end is that who really needs is 5 to 10 minutes.
It's not even 10, Dhanya. 4, 6. My God.
People don't need it, because he says during the strike, a lot of consumers came forward saying that we don't need this. And he was saying even in Hyderabad, that's the city he lives in, there have been 6 accidents in which people, gig workers, lost their lives because they're trying to do these really fast deliveries. And who will take care of their families? Somebody is left behind a 1-month-old child, a family which they were supporting completely. Maitreyi, what is the solution really? See, from what Mr. Salahuddin is saying, the platforms are not ready to come to the table if the workers put pressure. They don't want to engage with the unions. But we have seen state governments like Telangana has a gig worker bill. I think Karnataka is also trying. So what is the solution really?
See, the one thing that we need to recognize, the reason that these problems happen is because they refuse to accept that these are the workers. There is an employer and employee relationship that exists between them. They refuse to accept that. And if you really look at the law, the fact of the matter is that there is an employer-employee relationship that exists between them. The moment you do that, then all the rights that you have. See, if you look at what was being said, the crux of it is, one, you want safe and dignified conditions of work, just and humane conditions of work, which is something that our constitution in fact mandates. He was speaking about job security, social security, not being thrown out of at will, and some basic minimum wages should be paid to them. And these are so the rights that are being demanded are really the most basic of rights. And if you stop listening to the sham that is being put out by the companies, which is that they are entrepreneurs, they are independent, there is no employer-employee relationship. If you get past that, if you lift that veil, you will see that there is in fact an employer-employee relationship, and the states must intervene to enforce it. The point today is that there is nobody ready to do this enforcement. Everybody wants to say that this is a different kind of model. This is a different model. There is nothing like this, and there is no relationship that exists. So if you're, and when that that kind of subterfuge is being sold and is actually being bought by states, that's a very serious issue. So really, if one has to look at it, the state should intervene to say that this is not done. We have laws that are there in various states now, but this crux of of recognizing that there is an employer-employee relationship which actually exists has not been done. And the moment you do that, every law comes into force. Every law that is applicable to every other worker will become applicable to them, which it in fact is. The only question is of enforcement. In fact, you see in the UK, insofar as Uber drivers are concerned, there is the same issue. And the Supreme Court over there said that there is an employer and employee relationship between the drivers and the company. So if you really look at that, that's what it is. So what they are seeking for is these basic rights which need to be enforced by the states. So the labor departments actually have to come in and say that, no, this is not done. It's very simple. It's like, everybody knows that 5 minutes, 10 minutes is going to cause occupational hazards. There are going to be accidents. So you have a situation and an employment arrangement which is going to cause occupational hazards. So the government should step in and say, this is not done. You can't do this. Say you have a factory which is manufacturing something dangerous. The government will step in and say, no, have these safety measures, right? That's what the government should step in and do. There's no rocket science in recognizing that expecting people to deliver in this time frame is going to cause, will result in very serious damage. And see, it's not only accidents. Just imagine the kind of stress the person goes through. What that stress and that tension is going to do to that person's well-being, whether the physical or mental well-being. What is the impact of that? So what is really missing is the governments are not stepping up to say that what is happening is wrong and we will enforce the law. What we require today is that.
But tell me something, can we really expect the government to do that, considering if you look at ASHA workers, Anganwadi workers, the government is accused of the same, right, of not considering people as employees and having other kinds of contracts with them. And when private companies do the same, what is the incentive for the government to step in then? And also governments are like Piyush Goyal's speech, right? Yeah, Piyush Goyal saying that we don't actually have innovation in startup. Our startup is mainly dependent on gig work economy.
Correct.
They can't then clamp down on that also, right?
See, I'll tell you. One is, what can you expect from the government? The second is, what should the government do as its constitutional responsibility? Now, whether they have managed to bring down expectations that much, that's a different thing. But what is their constitutional responsibility? They have to fulfill that. You can't say, I'm not going to fulfill my constitutional responsibility. I mean, they say that, but that's not something that can be accepted. And these strikes that have taken place are very important steps towards forcing them to do it. You're forcing the companies to come forward and discuss with you, negotiate with you, recognize your value. Ultimately, what is strike about? Strike is about saying that this is the value of my labor, and by withholding it, you have to recognize how important I am to you. And it is also a message that is being sent out to the government to say that you have to step in. So I think the steps that have been taken, ultimately, governments are not interested in regulating. I mean, we are in a position where they're putting people who are within the law outside the law. So to say that they will actually do it is something it's difficult to expect, like you say. But is there a responsibility on them as per the Constitution? Yes, there is a constitutional obligation on them to ensure this. And it lies upon us to ensure that the government actually fulfills that. And this strike is a very important step towards that.
a couple of months ago, rather a year ago, I'd spoken to one minister from some southern government and asked about this for a story. And he said, these are all sunrise industries. We don't know how to regulate them. Still, we're trying to figure it out because we can't categorize them in any other. But shouldn't basic labor laws be applicable irrespective of what the industry is? And I want you to comment also on the Telangana and the Karnataka laws, which in a sense is seen as one positive step. But is it enough to just say that, the algorithm has to be transparent, or say that give them ID cards that is legally recognizable? Is that enough, or what else are you hoping for?
See, I think one is that, like I said, the laws are applicable. The question is not whether the laws are applicable. Laws are applicable. The question is whether they will enforce and ensure that those laws are, the workers get the benefits under the law. So the question is of implementation rather than of applicability. And in labor law, we have this idea that many people try to avoid laws by what is called subterfuging, coming up with different things. Like you call people contract workers, or like ASHA workers, what you were saying, you call them honorary workers, you call, honorarium workers. So like this gig economy, there are entrepreneurs. So these are kind of terminologies that are used to deny people their rights. But the fact is that you have to lift the veil and you have to see what is the real fact of the matter. And the fact of the matter is the laws are applicable. If you look at the laws that are now coming in, the Karnataka law actually does take some steps towards giving some rights, but I think again it has to go down to ensuring these rights. So one, you have to make sure that there's job security. You can't terminate at will. You look at any place, if somebody has done something wrong, then you conduct an inquiry. You give them an opportunity to say why what they did was that they didn't do that wrong. You give all of these opportunities and then take steps. Or if you're going to terminate, there's an entire procedure that is laid down under law. None of this are followed. Like today, within 5 minutes, your ID will be blocked. And that's effectively termination. What is the blocking of ID?
And that too on the complaint of third party. Like if I don't get my order and I register a complaint, the delivery person's
Absolutely.
ID
It's
gets
ex
blocked.
parte like Karnataka courts. They're not even, there's no grievance redressal or anything
Absolutely,
like that.
no. And it's without even hearing, without even asking, okay, see, this is the complaint against you. So most people don't even know why they have been thrown out. So you have to establish that. And along with that, you have to provide for basic social security. See, the very important question that was asked. Somebody dies on the road performing this work. Who's going to take care of their family? Who's going to ensure? And you have many of these people they're single, lively, earners in that family. So then who's going to take care of that family? What are the kind of medical insurances these people have? What are the medical insurance that the family has? Today we know that if you don't have insurance, or if you don't have any health possibility, then you're going to be in a big soup. So what is the social security that's being guaranteed? So these laws, they say that, like the Karnataka law says that you must be given the conditions of contract should be fair. Now, but what does fair mean? That's again a question that needs to be asked. It says that you cannot before terminating, you should give them a notice. It's not only notice. You should tell, if there is an allegation against you, you should say why you're being terminated. You should give them an opportunity to disprove that. That's what your basic principles require. And I think all of this comes from the refusal to accept that there is an employer and employee relationship. There are basic rights to which they are entitled. See, very simply, if you work in a factory, you're entitled to bonus on the basis of profit. They're not entitled to they are entitled to bonus, but they don't get bonus. Why are they kept out of that law? Why is that law not being enforced of them? If you work for more than 5 years, you get gratuity. Why is that law not being enforced insofar as these workers are concerned? And why should it not be? And very recently, the Supreme Court also has passed a judgment, but it looks at these kind of, subterfuges, the various ways in which the people are now trying to avoid law. And one of the things that recognizes specifically this gig and platform workers and says that it's so precarious that we don't know what the conditions of work of these workers. And if you have and today you look at it, there are more and more people going into this. In fact, I was reading a report that says that very soon there might be more gig and platform workers than factory workers. So you have to be able to ensure to them fair conditions of work. And the last thing, if you look at our constitution, Article 23 prohibits forced labor. Forced labor has been expanded to mean not only physical force. So even force by economic necessity is forced labor. So suppose a person is compelled to work for less than minimum wages. That is also forced labor. Now you look at these workers, most of them don't even get minimum wages. So you are thriving on forced labor. which is like, begar, and I mean, it's akin to slavery basically, if you look at it.
But is the whole system, tilted in favor of the company and the consumers? Because, like you said, they won't ask the, side of the delivery partner.
And I was reading that across the world, there are so many developments happening. Like New York City Council recently passed a law saying that arbitrary blocking cannot happen. In Chile, Brazil, so many countries, they're making this employee-employee relationship. If I can come back to Salahuddin, what is your opinion about a Telangana law? Has that solved some of the issues?
Yeah, imagine 5 states, including to Telangana, legislation will be passed. The first state who has passed Rajasthan, second Karnataka, third Jharkhand, fourth Bihar, fifth now. Recently, cabinet should be approved the Telangana bill. Okay, but we are finding all the bills. Wages should be missed the bills. Okay, in 5 states. Okay, main. Wages should be the main demand from the worker side. No, yesterday also you are seeing every mic should only tell about my in the cameras and mic. Hamara daam nahi mil raha. Okay, we want to wage from ensure from the companies per order give not less than so and so so and so. The imagine every day per ride aggregator companies demand and supply play the games from the workers. जब डिमांड है तो हम सप्लाई को देख के रेट बढ़ाएंगे. ओके, दिस टाइप ऑफ ऑर्बिट फ्रॉम द वर्कर्स, अगेन थ्रेट फ्रॉम द वर्कर्स. अगर आपका यहाँ पे कारोबार अच्छा चल रहा, दसरा, दीपावली, रमजान, बकरीद एंड IPL मैचेस, that 100 rupees biryani, 200 rupees you are selling and 50 rupees giving from the workers, this is not good from the consumers onwards. Okay, yes, if you can take needly whatever you can decide from fixed rate. बिरयानी का रेट तो कहीं रोज अप एंड डाउन नहीं होता, कोल्ड ड्रिंक का रेट अप एंड डाउन नहीं होता. ओके, यू इमेजिन this type of playing the games from the the consumers and workers. This is not good. Not only that, algorithm should in the place of your own phones onwards, Android phones, iPhone and S24 phone will be different, and one normal any Samsung normal phone should be prices will be different. Why this is all our algorithm and backend system should be you are providing from this much of. And one more important thing you are finding or not, I don't know. Recently, Siggy one report should be published. I'm right. हमने इतना बिरयानी बांटा. This state should be doing this much of business. So बोल के एक इतना बड़ा the large type of report should be in domain. But why not you are clearly said how many accident, how many delivery boys payment should giving highly and lowly, okay, and how many meet accident and deaths. Those all are also not clear in mention. Only your what do you want PR, that only you have to in public domain. You can complete data, na? How many traffic challans in from the workers? How many delivery boys going every day in wrong route? Okay. How many delivery boys has 4-5 floor will be going on the steps? Okay. How many delivery boys should be long platform working hours, 16 hours, 14 hours? Those all our data should in public domain. Why not? We are asking, na? That is my data, na? Without any consumer asking, you can data should be published, and that data you can as you manage. As you wish, you can those data should be you can use. But my data, when the state government's 5 states should be implemented law, state government has asking the data from the workers to give some social security scheme. You are not giving central and state governments to your data. That is not your data. That is my data. That is workers' data. That is the rights from the workers, the use from the purpose of social security scheme from the state and central governments. But you are not giving the data from the governments. Why? ये तो game है. Again, the parallel, demand and supply. कल बताया ना demand and supply क्या चीज है फिर workers का भी.
तो ये चालान का मामला, this traffic चालान was discussed long ago also, right? कोई भी platform pay नहीं करता. They don't pay at all for traffic chalans.
कोई प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं करता मैडम, क्यों करेंगे वो? करता है, करने के लिए उन लोग को है भी नहीं अपॉर्चुनिटी, वो करते भी नहीं. और एक बात बोल रहा हूँ मैडम, यू नॉट रिसीविंग द 10-minute डिलीवरी विद इन 10 minutes. कंज्यूमर आस्किंग फ्रॉम, अरे आफ्टर 10 minutes you are not giving the delivery. Again, those companies has giving the whatever the penalty should be given on the worker side, those penalty from the workers, not paying from the aggregator company. Example, 10 minute ka delivery, whatever you have to failure with coming to 15 minutes. 5 minutes, whatever the company, again customer ask, we are 5 minutes loss, 5 minutes late delivery. Immediately, platform companies, 20% discount. 20-40% का कूपन मिलेगा नेक्स्ट ऑर्डर पे. दिस टाइप ऑफ इमीडिएटली टू रिप्ले फ्रॉम द कस्टमर्स, कंज्यूमर्स. एंड वॉट एवर द माइनस अमाउंट शुड पेनाल्टी शुड बी punished from the delivery boys. And one more thing, some places not finding orders has returned from the back to restaurant. Those order, whatever the restaurant will giving the again back to restaurant, not giving the proper money. 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 3 rupees. I am 4 kilometers back, 10 kilometers back, the same restaurant hand over to the food. What's here? क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पर? कौन दे रहा मेरा पेट्रोल का पैसा? उसकी गलती किसकी ऊपर है? अगर जब कस्टमर लेना नहीं चाह रहा खाना, कस्टमर ग्रोसरी लेना नहीं चाह रहे, कस्टमर नहीं है लोकेशन पे, लोकेशन ट्रेस नहीं हो रहा, अगेन वो गलती मेरे पे ही है क्या? इमेजिन दिस टाइप ऑफ दिस इज द ऑल आर फैक्ट्स. अगर जब हम बात करते जाएंगे, पूरा दिन चर्चा लग जाएगा. आप किसी वर्कर में एज ए, अगर जब मैं बोलूंगा तो यूनियन बाजी दिखती है, राइट? आप कोई भी वर्कर को पूछिए, कल इतने सारे नेशनल मीडिया अपने सामने वर्कर के माइक रखे ना, एक भी वर्कर बता दो मैडम मेरा सर काट के आपके हाथ में देता हूं, ये कंपनी से मेरे को फायदा हुआ, अच्छा है बोल के. एक डिलीवरी बॉय. इतने सारे न्यूज चैनल्स कल पूरा इंडिया कवर करे, हर स्टेट में कवर करा, पूरा इंडिया कवर हो गया. कोई एक कंपनी को एक वर्कर ने बोला क्या मैडम ये अच्छा हुआ मेरे लिए, मैं इसके लिए जी रहा हूं, ये नहीं तो मैं नहीं जी सकता हूं? दिस इज रियल फैक्ट्स मैम. कल हम हकीकत दिखाने का काम करें. कल ट्रू ऑफ फैक्ट्स, फैक्ट फाइंडिंग क्या चीज होता हम बताए कल वर्कर्स पूरे मिलके कंपनीज को. और कंपनी आज के तारीख में बहुत बहका हुआ है. इस बार का रिपोर्ट अभी तक पेश नहीं करा, 24 आवर्स हो जाने आए. इमेजिन, नहीं तो आपको आज के सुबह ही ब्रेकिंग न्यूज आता था कि इतना डिलीवरी में खाना बेच दिया, बिरयानी बांट दिया, कोल्ड ड्रिंक बांट दिया, कांडम बांट दिया, सॉरी टू से ये चीज बांट दिया. कहाँ है फ्लैश न्यूज आज के आपके? एक भी स्क्लोरिंग नहीं चल रहा आपका, क्यों बोलती बंद हो गई? इमेजिन मैडम, मैं जो बात बोल रहा हूँ हवा की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ये फैक्ट्स है, रियल फैक्ट्स है. वो जो छुपाते हम बोलते. This is the different about the aggregator platform companies and workers unions.
So clearly they just want to absorb profits and pass on all the liability. But I want to just ask, I mean, for a change, we partly agreed with Piyush Goyal
No,
when
I
he
want
said
one
that.
second. The Hindi part we have to explain.
Translated. Yeah.
Because Pooja's Hindi is weak, I will
Sure.
explain. So basically, what he was saying is that the 10-minute delivery problem we've already discussed. But even if, let's say, a restaurant returns your food, or a customer returns food, cancels food, etc., it is the delivery person to go back 4 kilometers, 10 kilometers, whatever it is, and give that food back.
Even if the customer is not there at the location or couldn't be contacted.
Yeah.
Even that.
So whatever it is, that petrol, diesel, whatever spending has to be from the delivery person. And he's talking about these press statements which Swiggy, Zomato and all normally give, saying Pune ate biryani the most, Bangalore. We normally do publish all that. So he's saying, why hasn't that come out today? Even if that comes out every year on year, why not giving data about accidents, about what is the money that you pay your delivery persons? And he's saying, why has that sort of PR release not come today? Because you have been taken back you've been taken by storm because of our protest.
Protest.
Yeah.
But my question to you was about why Piyush Goyal did, kind of talk about how these so-called startups in India are mostly, on the backs of exploiting, younger and poorer sections. Should the union government step in? Should it be left to the states to come up with their own laws? Or do you think it's time that, because there's a national problem, should the union government actually put the money where their mouth is and do something about it?
No, absolutely. See, it's not only the states. Definitely, the union government must do that. And it is, again, their responsibility to ensure dignified, safe working conditions for people. And if you see, recently they brought out the labor codes, right? And these labor codes, they said, it's going to apply to gig workers. The fact of the matter is, they don't say that. That's not what it says. Social Security Code says we will create some schemes for gig workers. It doesn't say anything beyond that. What those schemes will be, what is it, what is the kind of other kind of regulation that is going to go down. That's not something that it looks at all. But yes, definitely, it is not only on the state. It is the responsibility of the government, both union and the state, to ensure this. And they have completely failed in doing that. And beyond the point, it's also about ensuring that you implement what laws you have. Why are you not looking at implementation? Instead, you are standing with the companies and saying, no, these laws don't necessarily apply. Let us bring in some schemes. Let us bring in some. So workers who are actually to be recognized as those in the organized sector, not the organized sector, who are to be recognized as those who are covered by law, you are saying, no, they are not covered by any law. They are not protected. We'll give them some very small kind of a thing. So you are actually subscribing to this sham that is being put out by these companies. And that is something that the government responsibility should not be doing.
Okay. Quick thing, we just found this online. Of course, all these laws might be inadequate, but I was looking up that many countries, including countries like Chile, have laws where the Chile law mandates that digital platform workers be paid at least the minimum wage equivalent for hours work, with added protections like safety training and transit insurance. In Ontario, there is a proposed law, that the Digital Platform Workers' Rights Act, which would set baseline protections regardless of employment classification. So these are, Australia has its own. So there are models. You try to look for models for other things. Why not this? So clearly it's a lack of political will.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mr. Salahuddin, for joining us. And I hope that in 2026, we at the News Minute and News Laundry can take up this issue. We'll see what we can do to become a part of the campaign that you all are doing to make sure that aggregators are held responsible. Thank you very much for your work.
Dhanya, since through this, if we could also ask our listeners, viewers, and generally people also to become part of this, because when the consumer starts putting pressure, I think that's the only way companies will respond. So
thank you very much, Mr. Salahuddin.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so from the gig economy, we'll now go to politics. This is a very important election year. We have 2 southern states and Puducherry going to polls this year. We also have other important elections like in Assam, West Bengal. So will the BJP's politics in all these states really bear fruit this time? Or in states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu, are they going to be outsiders this election too? Joining us to discuss about this is RK Radhakrishnan, senior journalist. He's a senior associate editor of The Frontline. RK, happy 2026.
Thank you, Dhanya, and wish you all a happy new year, Pooja, Dhanya, and the person that I don't know, Maitreyi, who is somewhere there. Yeah.
See, 2026 is your age. It's not the year. Right?
Yeah, I've been around forever. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Jayalalitha is dead, Karnanidhi is dead, so I'm on my way.
What is your New Year resolution?
My New Year resolution is to ensure that I wake up in the mornings and go to sleep in the night. Yes.
wow.
Okay.
Yours should be to be less ageist.
Yeah. I'll try. That's not something I've taken this year, maybe 2027. Okay. So, RK, first your thoughts on Tamil Nadu. Because we are seeing all these talks about will the alliances hold, which is the DMK Congress alliance, who will Vijay go with? I was speaking to a political, not analyst, right? Strategist, yeah. So that person was telling me that surveys are being done in every constituency in Tamil Nadu, almost on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis. And a few of the surveys which the ruling party itself is doing is showing that Vijay can get anything between 30 to 35% votes in constituencies. The other day I spoke to a BJP leader. Yes, I do speak to BJP leaders. He said that in his constituency, which is a urban constituency in Tamil Nadu, he took some 2,500 people as for the survey, and almost 43% people said Vijay. Are these surveys just exaggerated to give Vijay some false sense of confidence, or is that really showing that he would be better than Vijaykanth at least?
No, it's very difficult to say at this point, Dhanya. See, the issue in Tamil Nadu is that whenever you go with a poll survey, people will tell you what you want to hear. Like, for instance, most of the pollsters got Tamil Nadu 2021 and 2024 wildly wrong. They did give a few seats to the BJP, as in like the ADMK and the BJP in 2024. I mean, every single guy from Noida and the pollster from Noida said that Annamalai was winning Coimbatore. That's because they didn't obviously read what was actually happening on the ground. Obviously, they didn't do the surveys right. It's as simple as that. I think that is repeating again. 2021, of course, everybody gave DMK this massive thing, right? I mean, 200 seats and 180 seats and all of that, 10 years anti-incumbency. It didn't happen. I was very firm that it is going to be around 160, and that's where it happened. And I was very firm that the DMK Congress was sweeping 2024. I'm on record on multiple platforms. And DMK Congress did sweep 2024 Lok Sabha as well. So the thing is that people will tell you what you want to hear. And I think at this moment of time, it is just that Vijay is the flavor of the season, and people are generally also going with the flow. Number one. Number two, is it that some of these younger people are also voting, that is below 18 are also voting, in which case Vijay, of course, will get an absolute majority. So I don't know if some of the surveys are also taking those young people's votes as well. So I'm not sure.
So are you saying that only children are voting for Vijay?
Yeah, children between 12 and 20. Yeah, that is 2 years of. I mean, once you get to 21, then I don't think anybody is going to vote for Vijay.
Okay. So, but let's talk about the BJP also. We have seen the Tirupurukundram, for example, what has been happening, and all the controversies after that, the killing of the migrant laborer in Coimbatore, then the thing which happened in the train. There's been a lot of emotion whipping which has been happening. Will the BJP have any benefit doing all this? And what about somebody has also said two questions actually. Somebody said me that we are always talking about the alliance between TVK and AIDMK, right? Now, if that alliance does not happen, because there are multiple people telling us that EPS is not too forthcoming as of now to form that alliance. But if Vijay does form an alliance with OPS, AMMK, which is, what is it? Dinakaran's, then what happens? Yeah.
No, the answer to your first question obviously is that it's it's easy at this point of time to say that Vijay is the person to ally with. Why is that happen? That the problem happens to be that Vijay draws massive crowds wherever he goes, and it seems that everybody else, by comparison, fades out. Well, let's just keep that aside and then come to the BJP part of it. See, the BJP has set the narrative completely. To the extent that the people of Tirupurangundram are saying, hey, what is there? Yeah, let them come, that they let them light some nonsense and go off. The people of Tirupurangundram are okay. At least 60% of people in Tirupurangundram are okay with lighting any damn thing anywhere, as long as they don't start lighting the houses of the local people. That's where they are. Now, the only issue with that is that the access pathway is via the Dargah. Dargah, the path only, goes two ways when it is about 50 meters from the Dargah. Then that is the defining problem here. And if the police, as usual, they have been idiotic. If they had used the other pathway which is available to go to the top of the temple, there would have been no issue at all. Instead, the same pathway which has been, which Dargah uses, is being used to also access the hilltop. And there is a problem, a completely nonsensical and idiotic approach by the Tamil Nadu police, and the collector did not, help in that matter at all. I have to appreciate the Tamil Nadu police for having made sure that major major religious clashes are averted in Tirupurangundram. But at the same time, the first mistake was done by the police, which is, of course, not allowing the sacrifice last year. So this does not convert into votes in a major scale at all, because there is really no traction for this just outside of Tirupurangundram. Just as the Sabarimala issue did not have any traction even in Pathanamthitta. The same case here as well. That is the first part of it. The second part is that See, ADMK is looking desperately for allies. Dhanya, if you start a party tomorrow and tell, Edapadi that you're going to, contest and, you have this NWMA and all of that, there are like huge, all women will come and vote for you. I'm telling you 100%, he's going to take you in and you're going to get a seat and he will get loads of money also. So I suggest that that's one path that you should really look at. And Pooja probably can handle News Minute. I'm giving you ideas. And the other thing, obviously, AMMK, 100% no way that they're going anywhere near Edapadi, because see, there are two organizations, two political parties which are trying to pull down the ADMK BJP alliance. One is the Patali Makal Kachi, where the father and son are fighting so badly, it is really very, very difficult to find who the child is. I'm pretty sure that the 90-year-old man should be the child. But in this case, a guy who is slightly, that is 2 years younger than I am, happens to be the child as well. So, both of them are fighting so bitterly and so badly that, they're expelling each other's people and all of that. So, at this point, there is no compromise at all. So, this election, as far as the PMK is concerned, is going to be a washout. Some of the votes are moving towards Vijay. And the other part, obviously, is this, OPS and TTV and all of that. OPS and TTV have one aim in life right now. That is to pull down Edapadi Palaniswamy. Tell me, in this equation where the ADMK or Edapadi Palaniswamy is being pulled down in different directions, and the BJP is just not understanding the psyche and the script in Tamil Nadu, I don't see any which way that this alliance can win the election at all. That is why Vijay probably is having a higher, voter base or whatever across Tamil Nadu. The other thing, only thing that can defeat the DMK Congress alliance is that if they decide that give me a suicide vest, we have the suicide vest from ISIS, let us wear it and let us blow ourselves up. That is actually happening in Tamil Nadu because of various reasons. And we'll go into the reasons if there is time.
No, what is it? I'm curious now.
I'm guessing Praveen Chakravarti's tweet is one of the factors.
No, see, this has a history. Okay, I can start, telling it here. In 2019, when the Congress and the DMK stuck in alliance, it was under very excruciatingly painful circumstances, and the negotiations were such that it was 10 seats for the Congress, and then it came down to 9 seats and blah and all of that. And then Rahul Gandhi directly called MK Stalin, and MK Stalin said, okay, we will give you a Rajya Sabha seat. At some point of time, the only mistake that the Congress did is that Congress did not get it down in writing. Now, when that happened, the next thing is that they did not give a seat subsequently. And 2024 again, 2021, when the Congress and the DMK negotiations were happening, again the same story happened. That is 25, 27, 30, 26, all of these stories were going around, and at the end of it, again, a Rajya Sabha seat was promised, and it was said that we will get this thing sorted out. It didn't happen at all. So there is a question of two Rajya Sabha seats, twice Congress being taken for a ride. This is one part of it. The second part of it happens to be that Mallikarjun Kharge, just before Kamal Hassan was anointed as a member of parliament by the DMK, sent word through TR Balu to of course MK Stalin, saying that we would like a Rajya Sabha seat. Now the story is that she did not convey because MK Stalin was in Ooty at that point of time, and TR Balu apparently had communicated to the Congress that the moment he comes back to Chennai, I will definitely tell him. But, knowing TR Balu's nature, that's not how he operates. He would have immediately called Dinesh and told him. Now, the problem there happens to be that MK Stalin announced in Ooty, that Kamala Hassan is becoming the member of parliament. That really cheesed off the Congress. So this is the problem, that Congress thinks that it has been taken for a long ride, 2019 and 2021, that it is really not very happy with the scenario that the DMK is right now offering. To top, the cherry on top happens to be that the great K. Nehru and Velu, two ministers of the DMK cabinet, met Selvakuram in the first week of September and told him, or 2025, and told him that, Congress can have only 15 seats. Anyway, you guys are nowhere in the picture. You have no presence anywhere. So that's all you will have. No, I mean, they were right in the fact that, Congress presence is extremely minimal across Tamil Nadu, barring Kanyakumari and maybe pockets here and there. Even Virudhunagar, the entire, Trader Nara community has completely moved to the BJP. So, given that fact, these guys were telling them, two ministers told them, you keep 15 seats. If you want, you contest. Anyway, we are carrying you on our backs. Now, Congress gets extremely cheesed up at that point of time, and that's where they start exploring options. And that is the reason after the September 27th Karur incident, KC Venugopal makes it a point to get Rahul Gandhi on the line and make him speak to Vijay. So Congress, of course, is exploring its options because Congress has nothing to lose. It's a state assembly election. It doesn't really care. And 2029, I think Congress itself realizes that Narendra Modi is coming back. So, that's where we stand at that point of time. So, I think the suicide vest is all being prepared, and I think everybody is going to wear it and blow themselves up highly. I mean, high into the air. But if they don't, I mean, if the West doesn't function, I think they're coming back to power. DMK.
So the West is Congress and Congress and DMK breaking the alliance and going separately, as in Congress can go with the TVK also.
But
then.
don't you remember that even in 2021, they tried to float these things that we're talking to ADMK, you're not our only option, just to drive up the bargain. So what we hear is that this is one such attempt. Eventually, Congress also realizes that even if it's one state, being an ally partner, even if it's a small ally partner, will make a lot of difference. Also for the larger India alliance or whatever form that will take in the future, DMK is very crucial for that. So Congress eventually will fall in line. They want to see how much they can push and pull for numbers is what we're hearing.
Maitreyi, I'll just pull you in here. As someone who's looked at Karnataka politics or at least watched it, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, people of Kerala and Tamil Nadu now believe that the polarization they see, which is in pockets only, is something they can just watch from afar and think that it is not going to impact them. But the Karnataka story has not been like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have seen what has happened in Karnataka and the way in which this issue has been brought to the forefront by the BJP. And I mean, you see sparks in Tamil Nadu. You saw what has happened there recently, and the way in which the judiciary also has in fact played a role in what happened in Tamil Nadu. And I think definitely Karnataka is a lesson for the South on not taking this lightly and recognizing the very dangerous role that BJP can play.
But Dhanya, that comparison I feel is a little misplaced because Karnataka not since Modi's BJP, not since Vajpayee's BJP, but from Jan Sangh days onwards, leaned heavily towards the right. Dharwad and northern parts of Karnataka had a lot of presence of RSS, which is not, also there wasn't a very strong narrative here in terms of what is the, like in Kerala you have communism, in Tamil Nadu you had the Dravidian politics, which is not just a theory, it is something that is deeply penetrated. Not to say that, the threat of BJP or polarizing or right-wing is not real. I'm just saying that I don't know if we can take lessons from Karnataka and simply translate
but
it
I think that
there.
history in Karnataka, though it began much earlier, like you said, even before Vajpayee time from the Jan Sangh, there is a starting point for all the other states. And that is what we're saying.
I'm saying that there is a model there that is being used for so many. It's a tried and tested model. So that is what they need to emphasize on more.
Okay, so to just conclude the Tamil Nadu section of this, are you saying that for the BJP, it is a huge deal, right? What happens in Tamil Nadu? We have seen Amit Shah, Narendra Modi themselves take a lot of interest in this. But nothing has been working out, or do you believe that, like for example in Kerala, since you're also a Malayali, you must know that a lot of people talk about how, though in vote share, it will not transfer to BJP doing a lot better in Kerala. When it comes to ideological perspectives, when it comes to narratives, people have shifted to the right a lot in Kerala, though it may not translate to votes. Is that a reality in Tamil Nadu, or the BJP is too far away from any sort of electoral victory?
No, what I see in Kerala is a frightening shift to the right. I mean, even the so-called neutral people or people who were once communists. Of course, when you're 18, you're a commie, and then when you're 60, you're a spiritual person. But then spiritualism and association with temples have come to mean being part of the BJP in Kerala. It is not shown in Tamil Nadu. So there is a huge difference, though, there is a lot of similarities between the way Kerala and Tamil Nadu approaches its policies and politics. It's extremely divergent when it comes to religion and politics. So, one of the great things that both the Dravidian parties have done is to make sure that the so-called rights of Tamil Nadu, the two-language policy or the 69% reservation or all of that, they've literally tried to say that anybody in central government has always been opposing this. So even in 2020, when the new education policy came into play, it was the ADMK government which was here, and ADMK government stood up and said, no, we will not implement the three-language policy in Tamil Nadu. That didn't happen in Kerala. Kerala just, glossed over the whole thing, and even now there is this problem between the CPI and CPM, even though right now it has been sorted to some extent. So there's a huge difference between the two states. And BJP still hasn't figured out its act in Tamil Nadu, and I suspect it's also because of the problems in Delhi involving Hiren Joshi, and everybody is like, one headless chicken, and nothing really is moving in Delhi at this point. They will concentrate on Tamil Nadu, and I'm extremely, extremely confident that at least 3 or 4 ministers will be arrested, and there's, corruption and all these things will happen. Here, there is always the river sand issue, which is being taken up in IIT Kanpur, and all that had come into play, and all of that. Then there is the local administration issue, K. Nehru, Senthil Balaji, God only knows who else is being targeted by the ED. That will happen. I think it's only a matter of time. Probably another 15-20 days is going to happen. Kerala, of course, completely different scene, as you rightly said. It may not convert into an MLA seat for the BJP, barring probably in Trivandrum, given the fact that Shashi Tharoor's colors seem to be changing very rapidly, though he has made it very clear that he has no intentions of joining the BJP at this stage in his life. He probably will do all the tours and, your literary circuit, and then keep, fingering the first family of the Congress. North Kerala, Palakkad and Trivandrum, both these three places seem to be favorably disposed towards the BJP. There is massive support in all these three places. But again, the thing is that it will not convert in an MLA seat. They don't have enough votes to convert in it, but they'll definitely make a difference. And I think BJP wants to bring the LDF back to power one more time so that he can destroy the Congress in Kerala, and at the same time destroy the LDF also, because after Pinarayi it's deluge. So we'll definitely not know who is capable of leading the party. Of course, there is M.A. Baby, there is Thomas Isaac, a lot of other people, teacher, all of them, but it's anybody's game after that.
So there's one theory I keep hearing. This is pan-India. Wherever Congress has had presence, right, strong and significant presence, it's easier for BJP to take over in that state as opposed to states where regional parties are stronger. In that sense, do you think we can apply that to Kerala first, because Congress still has grassroots presence? So it's easier for them to convert Congress workers, Congress leaders, bring them to BJP, and they could maybe use that route?
No, I think in Kerala, the story is slightly different. Everybody rises up from the student union movement, and therein lies the problems. You can't, V.D. Sudhishan or Ramesh Chanitala or Shashi Tharoor, even Shashi Tharoor for that matter, he's not going to shift. And you look at any of the MLAs or even the lower level, just because of cases, how many people, there are cases in Kerala also, there are EDA, there is ED, IT, CBI cases and all of that. Nobody has literally joined the BJP from any of this, merely because of the cases and belonging to a political party. That's not seen anywhere else in India. The moment you file a CBI case or an IT or ED, DRI case, that fellow goes and joins the BJP, everything is hunky-dory. That is not happening in Kerala yet. So I think the route is slightly different. BJP believes that it can actually consolidate on its 7,000 RSS shakas in Kerala. Plus, of course, there is this, they've successfully taken over temples in Kerala, in the sense that even though the Travancore, Devasam, Kochi Devasam, and of course the Malabar Devasams control most of the temples in Kerala, and the left is sitting, and its nominees are sitting in various temples. There are hundreds of other smaller temples in Kerala, which is taken over by the BJP itself and is run by the BJP. There are orphanages, there are NGOs and all kinds of things being run in Kerala. So the societal, the creeping of RSS into Kerala society is significant. I'm very sure Dhanya will know this. She's from Palghat, and you would see extremely significant changes in Palakkad itself, including Chandranagar and Melamuri.
Chandradar is my house and Melamuri is his house.
You both have just stopped short of giving her address.
Yeah. No, but I want to say that the local body elections in Kerala, they will have some impact in how the politics will pan out in the next few months. Primarily being after the 2024 elections, the CPIM had this realization that the Irava votes had gone away from them. which is the reason why they then allied with the SNDP or Vellapalli Nadeshan. Now, Vellapalli Nadeshan is someone who Pinarayi Vijayan at one point of time said is a Togadia of Kerala, Praveen Togadia of Kerala. Now, that's the man which the CPIM is now walking along with, to the extent that when the Ayyappa Sangamam happened in Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan brought Vellapalli Nadeshan in his car. So when it became a huge controversy, Pinarayi said that no, he's an old man, he was standing on the road, and so I just gave him a lift. That became a huge problem. Last 2 days, it has been politically charged in Kerala because the local body election results came. We saw that the UDF got 39% of votes and the LDF got 33.45 votes. The CPI had a state council meeting, and after state council meeting, they had very stinging criticism for Pinarayi Vijayan, which is very unlikely of the CPI, because normally they would blame the party, they would blame the system. But they said it is people's problem with Pinarayi Vijayan's one-man show itself that has created this. And they've also said that we have distanced minority communities, especially Muslims. How? Because after 2024, when the CPM decided to do a new social engineering or political engineering, they brought SNDP with them, but they try to distance Muslims. Now that starts as Pinarayi Vijayan being really critical of the Jamaat-e-Islami. In at least 3 to 4 press meets that he's called in the recent past, even the one recently, he spoke about Jamaat-e-Islami. But while, distancing themselves from Jamaat-e-Islami or questioning Jamaat-e-Islami, it became such a big deal that Muslims started feeling insecure that whether this will apply to the community as such, right? Which is very evident in the local body elections. So last 2 days, what's been happening is that Vellapalli Nadeshan was asked about the CPI State Council's criticism of Pinarayi Vijayan, and he said, our Chadiyan Chandu on a CPI. Chadiyan Chandu is basically somebody who cheats. And he said, you too, Brutus. That is how CPI is to the CPIM. Then reporters go and ask the CPI about Vellapalli Nadeshan's comment. And Binoy Vishwam, the CPI MP, says that, see, he does not even take his name, Nadeshan's name in the entire press meet, but he says that it's somebody who I won't even take in my car.
So, Dhanya, another factor when we were writing the analysis of the local body polls, you're absolutely right about how the Muslim, population has consolidated more towards the Congress, and that's why their numbers were higher. And one more reason that came up is sometime, I think in April or May this last year, I forget that year in 26. There was, that in 25, there was a speech Vellapalli Nadeshan made which was very Islamophobic, and Pinarayi Vijayan was on the stage. Instead of actually condemning, the next day he tried to give a clarification saying it wasn't Islamophobic. Also, the fact that he's been targeting Muslim population in, like, you remember the Malappuram airport issue, the Hindu interview where he said that a certain community smuggles gold and that's why that airport is a big problem. And the way he went after the PFI, not that all Muslims are in support of PFI, but it seemed vindictive. It seemed coming from a place of Islamophobia rather than just law and order. So these things have been taken into consideration.
I think the CPIM protecting Vellapalli Nadeshan, not criticizing him for all the, not even Islamophobic, right? He is anti-Muslim. There's no doubt about it. For all the stuff that he's been saying is seen as an endorsement of his stand. So now the problem for the CPIM is after 2021 where, yes, they got the victory, but even then they felt that a lot of Hindu population has been alienated because of the Sabarimala issue. They held a Sabarimala conference in 2025. That ended up, I don't think any of the hardcore Hindus are thanking the CPIM and going towards them for conducting the Sabarimala conference, but they ended up alienating the Muslim population. As far as the Christians go, we have seen that Syrian Christians, a lot of them are supporters of the BJP. But like I said, in Kerala, I mean, this is anecdotal only. I feel a lot of people may ideologically now be going towards the BJP. But when it comes to voting, they may still prefer to vote for the Congress.
As of now,
which is a vote against the CPIM, but not a vote for the BJP, right? Yeah. So that is what a lot of people are doing. And a big population of Christians also fall into that. And I think this one, a lot of CPIM people will tell you, oh, there is no anti-incumbency because we have won 2 elections together. And even here, we have done quite a bit because our vote share hasn't gone down a lot, right? But if you take a place like Kollam, which has seen the CPIM winning for many years, even that they could not. Correct. And that really shows that there is anti-incumbency also. So I think for the CPIM, they better get their social engineering fast and
Would that be enough?
a
I want
leader,
to
yeah.
ask both of you. Is now their biggest trump card, which was Pinarayi Vijayan up until the last. Has he become a liability now?
No, I don't think so. I think that there is enough in the CPIM to still win the elections because the Congress is such a house in disarray more than anything else. RK?
I would say that Pinarayi Vijayan still is the grand old man of Kerala politics. Dhanya, none of us gave him a chance. This was the thug from Kannur, general secretary of the party. Secretary of the Kannur district of the party is actually a thug. He's never been a guy who has not been thuggish, who's the secretary in Kannur. Now, that guy becoming the ideologue and the ideological boss of the entire party to the extent that after Sitaram's passing, everybody looks up to Pinarayi. And the metamorphosis is actually, something to really write about and really think about. The slow metamorphosis of Pinarayi Vijayan from the Kannur district secretary to the ideologue of the party. I find it funny, but then if I say anything more, I think my friends on the left will kick me.
Yeah, and you can find RK on Twitter if you want to write to him. It's RK Radhakrishnan without the last A. So for any of the things that he said, please go on his handle and respond.
But
Yeah.
actually, in both the states, you have enough enemies today.
You don't have to tag us, you can tag him. Yeah, RK, yes, go on.
Yeah, and Dhanya, I also have a lot of friends and people who love me in Vijay's party, just as you did many years ago. So that's also there. It's in some ways it is like Stalin's evolution, in the sense that Stalin was ideologically the most weakest of the guys in Tamil Nadu. From if you can consider Anna, Kalaignar, any of those people, but Stalin is a guy who has done most for the ideological part and to keep the ideology going and all of that. Of course, it makes political sense to do it at this point of time because the BJP is in power. And the more you talk about anti-India agitation, more you talk about reservations, more you talk about how social justice is the thing which has held Tamil Nadu together. And that is why, so many, 75% of Tamil Nadu is now educated in positions of power and all of that, the backward classes and most backward classes. I mean, it makes eminent sense. That is one part of it. The other, of course, I agree with you that the Congress is a house which needs to be put in order. But I think the solution is extremely simple. Both Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi have an eye on Kerala. They know what's happening in Kerala because both Rahul had contested and won, and Priyanka, who I would say is much sharper when it comes to politics, also won there, and she knows what's happening. So for them, if they decide the first family of Congress, of course, Mallikarjun Kharge, please don't write him off. His root does run in the Congress. I mean, not in every sphere of activity, but he's from Karnataka. He understands the politics. In fact, imagine any other person, any other chief minister from Karnataka going down to, Kollam district, Shivagiri, and talking to the chief minister. I don't think it has ever happened before. Even when there have been anti-Malayali sentiments and, riots against Tamils, for instance, during Kaveri and all of that. No chief minister has come to Tamil Nadu to say that, okay, let us talk this out. So I think Congress can put its house in order. But what Congress does is typical Congress style. It will just let things drift and closer to the elections, it will do something. Basically, it has turned out to be an election party these days because Rahul Gandhi insists on taking holidays month after month. God knows where he's going and what he's doing. But then the point happens to be that this guy does more holidays than work, actually. I mean, unlike Amit Shah and Modi, who are 24/7 and 365 in politics and in it.
Hey,
I don't.
What is this against holidays?
Yeah, I don't endorse that. I mean, it's okay if he wants to take
No, but
holidays. I don't want.
Yeah, I want to add one thing. The problem that a lot of people in Kerala will say is that the Gandhi family seems to be listening only to one leader from Kerala, which is K.C. Velogopal.
But then, that's where the Kharge factor comes in. I think you were bang on when you said that, we should. I mean, I don't know who's writing him off, but if you do so at your own peril, Kharge is a very understated leader. He's not somebody who wants to show that he's powerful, but he's calling the shots as far as ticket distribution is concerned. He's done it in many other states, including Karnataka, including Telangana, where he's kept K.C. Venugopal at bay.
No, but here K.C. is not talking about seats, right? K.C. wants to be the CM.
Interest, yeah.
K.C. wants to be CM himself. So you want to add something? How are you looking at these elections, Tamil Nadu and Kerala?
I think a lot is, what you'll discuss. I think the other one aspect that we need to look at it, what the impact of the SIR also would be on this and how that would play itself. Because we have been looking at reports that have been coming in, especially from Tamil Nadu, in terms of the the voters that have been deleted. How is that going to impact this entire process? Is something that also we need to watch out for very carefully.
So, RK, finally, we are thinking that in Tamil Nadu, it all depends upon alliance politics. And if the Congress and the DMK somehow decide not to come together, it will be advantage Vijay or whoever he goes with, is what I assume, and not for the AIDMK. And in Kerala, I personally think that the CPIM really has to figure out its, what its new social engineering has to be, or it is giving way to the UDF. And there are a lot of people in the left who believe that the CPIM should now stay out of power, because 10 years in power does make a party complacent. And you have to go back to the roots of party building, right? So stay out of power for the next 5 years. A lot of people believe that the fact that they conducted this whole Sabarimala conclave, and even the latest vice chancellor thing where the CPIM is supposed to have, Pinarayi Vijayan is supposed to have struck a deal with the governor where one VC is according to what Pinarayi wants and one VC is what the union government wants, is seen as a compromise. The whole PM Shri thing that Kerala went and signed the PM Shri and then they had to take it back is seen as a compromise. So yeah, that is my thought about Kerala.
Might be not for the party, but this is what I'm looking. If the CPIM is in the opposition for a while, it's better for the state, not because of any party, whatever. But the left movement, the entire part it's from protest, it's from opposition. So somehow maybe they've forgotten how to look at people's issues. Maybe that way they can be
So
a
are you saying they
constructive-
should stay out of power?
No, I'm saying it might be even good. It won't be a disaster for the party, yes, because that's the only state where they are in power. So it will be a huge blow. But it's a great way to go back to people's issue, make up for whatever disconnect they have. But one takeaway I saw from what both of you were saying, in the case of Pinarayi Vijayan and Stalin, they're not, I don't know, not highly read intellectuals, so to speak, from the Dravidian movement and the communist movement. But the practicality of elections have made them the biggest brand ambassadors of the politics that they represent today. I think for me, that's the biggest takeaway from both the states.
Yeah, just to add to that, January 9 and January 10, we'll have the biggest ideological battle on the screens. The release of Jaranayagan and Parashakti. Let's see how that goes. I mean, like the attempt of Vijay to be seen as the political party or the person opposing the DMK, I think it will help him definitely, depending on what happens, because there is a lot of panic in the DMK camp and they're probably putting pressure on the exhibitors not to give space, because they're saying we'll give you Parashakti and whatnot. So there's a huge thing going to happen 9, 10 and subsequent days. I think we're going to see something extremely interesting. Can Vijay spin this and position himself as the person who challenges the DMK? In fact, I've written something on Frontline. It's just been posted online, so please do look it up, anybody who is watching.
Is that your recommendation for the week?
No, I mean, this is...
It's okay. I think this year we should all promote our own work unapologetically. Let's also take
Hey,
that.
I do it all the time when I say take a subscription. I promote my work, our work, and say take a subscription. Yeah. So thank you for that, RK. Now, what is your actual recommendation?
Yeah, I'm I'm just completing a documentary on the Sri Lankan refugees in India. I highly recommend everybody watch it.
But it's not out yet. Can you say something which is already out, which people
He's
can
not
watch?
sure if
read?
you'll call him again by the time it's out. So
It's just 10 days away. So, you can wait 10 days, because I don't think anybody is going to work till Pongal is over in Tamil Nadu. So, just wait and see. And my book also is coming out on the DMK is coming out, but it's going to take a while coming out. So, all of those are there. And Manu's book also is coming out. Manuraj Shanmusundaran's book on the DMK is coming out. That will be before the elections, most definitely. So, a lot of things to look forward this year.
Okay, but what is your documentary called?
My documentary is called Faceless People, the people who, struggle with their own identity and can't make a choice to where they can live, because governments makes their choice for them.
Okay. Maitreyi, what is your recommendation?
So since we're putting in what we have written, I have a recent article out on the labor codes and how they are actually anti-worker, anti-women workers. and how they basically turn social justice, the idea of what's in the constitution, on its head, and it's published in Frontline. So look at that. That's one. And the other is, I think, given, we're talking about gig economy, we're talking about the positive obligations of the state, I think it's important for us to go back and read Dr. Ambedkar's State and Minorities, which looks at, it talks so much about this free enterprise and ease of doing business. Whose freedom are you protecting and whose freedom are you violating?
And ease for whom?
Absolutely. And ease for whom, and in order to get that ease, whose freedom is being thwarted upon, whose rights are being violated. And so that's the other one.
So this documentary on Netflix called New Yorker at 100, I saw the pictures in the public library, and I texted Dhanya, I remember, because that was also started by a husband-wife, a couple, and they thought that they'll shut shop in 4 or 5 years, and they finished 100
This was
years.
started by the wife, and the husband had to come in to put
I
money.
protest on behalf of the CEO because he's not in the room to defend himself. But that, I think that's something we can all learn from what it's gone on to represent, what it's become. Also, like I said, please go and watch Let Me Explain week on week. Watch IPI by Shabir in public interest. Hopefully, Sudipto will start his podcast, What's Your Ism? Watch that. Watch, of course, South Central. And watch all the shows on News Laundry too, because you watch them, you watch us, you contribute to us. There, it's all the same.
So I have 2 recommendations. One is this long form article on Himal. It's called The Woman in the Bathroom. It's by a journalist named Romita Saluja. It's a very disturbing read. It's about a woman who was rescued a few years ago. Her name is Ramrati. She was locked in a bathroom by her husband for 2 years. So Romita goes back to that village, meets the wife, the husband, the families, and she tries to figure out why was this woman locked in the bathroom, why nothing eventually happened in that case, why everybody says that she has mental health problems, but it doesn't really seem so. Or maybe even if she did have some problem, it's been exaggerated, and then she was locked in this bathroom for 2 years. After reading this entire article, I felt like maybe there's also postpartum depression, which nobody talked about, or maybe I'm just assuming so. So there is a conversation which I think they're going to put up with the journalist on the Himal YouTube site. So I'm going to watch that. But do read that article. It's very, very long and it's very disturbing. So maybe if you don't want to read sad stuff in the first 2 days of the new year, you can read it.
Only first day. I think from second, all bets are off. We're back to
you can read it on
usual
Jan
programming,
3rd, Saturday. Very good day to start reading really
Depressing
sad,
stuff.
depressing stories. And on that note, another not depressing but very essential watch is Kunal Kamra's documentary last year called A Dark Side of the Indian Startup Ecosystem. It's 1 hour, 30 minutes on YouTube. It's on the gig worker economy and how they really exploit people. So do watch that and say no to 10-minute delivery is what Salahuddin
6-minute, 4-minute delivery.
Yes.
10 is too long.
So thank you very much to our producer for the week, Megha Mugundan, who's also producing LME this week. Lot of work on the first week of January for Megha. Production assistant Ajay, our editor Jasim, Sukanya Shaji, who's listening to the shows and going to write everything.
From a different time zone.
Yes, and Yana, who does all our socials. Thank you to all our listeners, readers. Remember, this year we're going to come back with Media Rumble again. So watch out for all the events of the News Minute and News Laundry and take a subscription. Let that be a New Year resolution.
you.